What's going on, guys? I am your Wrestling King coming at you with the AEW 2021 Pay-Per-View DVD Collection. So, as usual, we got 4 pay-per-views to run through, and this was definitely, I'd say, a turning point for AEW during this year. But we'll get to that in the later half of the year here. And, so we're going to kick it off with Revolution 2021. This was still during the time where AEW didn't have a full crowd yet. I think that would be Double or Nothing when they would get a full crowd again. So they were in Daly's place still at this time. It took place March 7th, 2021. I believe it was a Sunday. And so the cover is pretty cool. You got your nice Revolution kind of green tealish in the background. I always like the artwork for Revolution. And just some of your top guys up here. So down the spine you have Omega and Moxley. And this is a 2-disc set. And then on the back, there's not really a lot of artwork on the back of this. It's just, kind of straightforward. You get your match listing and what's on each disc. So for the extras, we have Countdown to Revolution, the Street Fight Director's Cut, and then to buy in Thunder Rosa and Riho versus Britt Baker and Maki Ito. And then for your match card, you have Miro and Kip Sabian versus Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. Big money match, Hangman Page versus Matt Hardy. The Casino Tag Team Royal. They're Casino Battle Royals. They do those. They might do them at every pay-per-view, I think. And then the Face of the Revolution ladder match, you have Cody Rhodes versus Penta El Zero Miedo versus Lance Archer, Max Caster, Scorpio Sky, and Ethan Page. And then your street fight, Ricky Starks and Brian Cage versus Sting and Darby Allin. And then the AEW World Tag Team Championships, the Young Bucks versus Chris Jericho and MJF. They had the AEW Women's World Championship, Hikaru Shida versus Ryo Mizunami. And then for the AEW World Championship, an exploding barbed wire death match, Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley. And this is kind of an infamous moment for AEW, especially the end of the pay-per-view. The ring it barely exploded. It looked like there were sparklers on the ring post. That's about it. So, this is an alright show. I didn't mind it. It was okay, but it's definitely good watching pay-per-views before and after, with crowd. But that pay-per-view was okay, but the main event was a little bit of a letdown at the end, I gotta admit. I don't know what we were expecting, but it wasn't what we got. Then we have Double or Nothing 2021, so kind of their, I'd say this was their big show. This and All Out, because they started off with Double or Nothing, and this was the third ever. You got some nice. I like the new Double or Nothing logo that they put up there. It's very similar to the old one, but it's a little bit fancier. I don't know. Then this took place May 30th, 2021, and another 2-disc set. So again, you kind of just have a bunch of guys on the cover. They tend to do that a lot with these AEW DVDs, I will say, but I think this cover looks great. You kind of have like a yellow or orange outline and tint to everyone, which is very cool. It's almost like gold, so it's very cool. You got Jericho and MJF front and center, as well as Omega, Orange Cassidy. You got Miro in the back there, Darby Allin, Cody, Moxley, Kingston. And then on the spine, there's a lot going on. You have the Inner Circle up here, and then the Pinnacle down there. And there's your Double or Nothing spine, looking very nice. I really like the logo. I don't know what it is. Then you have kind of some gold chips up here. Very cool. And then you have screenshots through each of these little poker chips going along the sides. So like you got Jericho up there, Cody, Christian Cage. Yeah, very cool. Hangman Page, Sting and Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy right there, Britt Baker. And then obviously you have your match listing down the center and your extras at the bottom. So you have the buy-in NWA Women's World Championship, Serena Deeb versus Riho. the Countdown to Double or Nothing, and AEW Unrestricted live from FanFest. And then on the card itself, we have Sting and Darby Allin versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, Cody Rhodes and Anthony Ogogo, Hangman Page versus Brian Cage. A lot of cages and pages here. That's the third one I said so far. Then we got Casino Battle Royal, the TNT title, Miro versus Lance Archer. You have the AEW tag titles, Young Bucks versus Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. The women's world title, Hikaru Shida versus Britt Baker. I think this is where Britt Baker would start her near year-long reign, I believe. And then the AEW world title, you had Kenny Omega versus Orange Cassidy versus Pac in a triple threat match. And then Stadium Stampede 2, Inner Circle versus The Pinnacle. So yeah, I have yet to see any of this show because I didn't get it when it was live, and I just got this DVD like today as I'm filming this. So yeah, I do like the artwork though. It looks like a table, kind of. Little chips. It's very cool. I don't know if there's much in the background. Yeah, it's just kind of your gold chips at the bottom. So yeah, this was the first show where AEW had a full crowd again, and they haven't slowed down since. They've had, I think them and WWE, they haven't ever had to go back to a Thunderdome or just minimal crowds, so that's definitely good. And then what I think of as kind of the turning point pay-per-view for AEW, All Out 2021, September 5th, 2021. So yeah, a lot was happening at this time. CM Punk had just returned after 7 years of not being in the wrestling business. And yeah, so this is kind of where AEW would start picking up a lot more big names, and especially at this show. You had a couple debuts of Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole at the end. So this was a game changer here. This was great. Yeah. Looking at the spine, you got Kenny Omega and Christian Cage. I do like how they kind of put the World Championship match on the spine or just the main event. Most of the time, at least. And then the back, very cool artwork here. You have the building, and on the sides, kind of screenshots of you got Danielson and Cole there. You got Punk, Paul White, Big Show. Yeah, very cool stuff. And then at the bottom, our extras are the buy-in 10-man tag match and the Countdown to All Out extended cut. And then for the card, we have Paul White versus QT Marshall, Women's Casino Battle Royal, Jon Moxley versus Satoshi Kojima, CM Punk versus Darby Allin, Punk's first match back, the final fight, MJF versus Chris Jericho, TNT Championship, Miro versus Eddie Kingston, Steel Cage match, AEW World Tag Team Championships, Young Bucks versus Lucha Brothers, the AEW Women's title, Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander, and then the AEW World Championship, Kenny Omega and Christian Cage. And obviously, we know what happened after that match. Adam Cole would debut, and then right after, you had Bryan Danielson coming out. And yeah, 2 amazing debuts in a row. So AEW had a ton of debuts at this time of big stars just so quickly. You had Punk, and then at this show, having Danielson and Cole was just crazy. So a lot of hype behind AEW at this time. And then you have Full Gear 2021, and the cover is just based off of Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. So you got shots of them all over. I believe them winning the tag titles, yeah. So, it's cool artwork. I enjoy it. I don't necessarily like that they put so much of them on the cover, but it's alright, I suppose. They have November 13th, 2021. That was our date this took place. So, yeah, Full Gear, their November show, the last show of the year, our last pay-per-view of the year. And then you have Omega and Page on the spine once again. And a bunch of screenshots on the back. You even have Hangman Page winning the AEW World title here. And then down here we got Miro and Danielson. Some shots from that match. Jericho. And who would Jericho face? I don't even know. Because I was going to say Kingston, but no, Kingston, he faced Punk. Yeah. So, yeah. Very cool artwork down the bottom of this. Or down all this. Very cool. And then for the extras, you have the buy-in. Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa versus Jamie Hayter and Nyla Rose. The Countdown to Full Gear extended cut. The AEW Productions behind the scenes. The making of Hangman's Full Gear entrance. Alright. Interesting. And then what I heard was match of the night for this show. MJF and Darby Allin. I'm definitely excited to check that out. The World Tag Team Championship match. The Lucha Brothers versus FTR. The AEW World Championship Eliminator Tournament Finals. Bryan Danielson versus Miro. Falls Count Anywhere. The Young Bucks and Adam Cole versus Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage. Then you have Malachi Black and Andrade Alilo versus Cody Rhodes and Pac. You have the Women's World Title. Britt Baker versus Ty Conti. CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston. The Minneapolis Street Fight. Inner Circle versus Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and American Top Team. And then the AEW World Championship, Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page. So yeah, Hangman Page would get his moment and win the title. And personally, I think his run was a little lackluster. It wasn't the greatest. But, you know, the situation we're in now, you have Moxley as the interim champion. Punk beat Page, but he got hurt, so yeah. Okay, I'm just going to leave that disc in. Take this one out. Show you some artwork there. The gears with some screenshots. Very cool. So yeah, I will always say the AEW DVDs, the artwork's really good, and most of their shows are very good as well. I've enjoyed most of them, like I've said. So that's going to be it for the 2021 AEW pay-per-view collection. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll catch you in the next one.